Cross Anime, episode 82. We're back.
Yes, welcome.
No, you're welcome.
We're going to be talking about our A-list.
A-list. You know what?
Episode 3, 4, and 5 of Spy Family, Rising of the Shield Hero Season 2, and Skeleton Knight of in Another World.
You know what A-list stands for?
Awesome.
It stands for Anya.
Anya.
So fucking adorable. Oh! Listen,
I will also quickly be talking
what?
about episodes 15, 16, and 17 of Q.
Yeah.
Whatever.
If you
didn't even watch it.
I know. I don't need to watch it because it's trash.
Yeah, whatever.
Trash. Hey, but Anya's adorable. And I love how Yord's like, I think you would like this out when they're going to try on clothes. I think you'll like this coat. She's like, no, I like red. That woman has a knife and death fetish. We need to talk about that. They go to the museum, right? You know, Anya's like, boobies. I'm just like, oh, I told you not to yell.
Yeah.
She's just so adorable because everyone's like, oh, it's blurred. Then they actually zoomed in. I'm like, well, I guess it's art, but just, you know, every kid would do that, like, boobies on there. And then yours over there looking at a guillotine in the fur. Did you see the comments under that?
No.
It's like, oh man, the French paintings are always amazing this time of year. It's like, ooh. Literally, the woman every time she sees like a knife, literally butter knife. Sees a guillotine.
While they were at the restaurant.
Yeah, it's like
Anya's like trying to pick up the peanuts with her hand. It's like, use a fork. York. I don't know how to handle the situation. It's been very good.
The show has earned. Did you see they got ranked number 2 on my anime list?
Yes.
It's like ranked number 2. The thing is, don't get me wrong, it's a really good show. I think it deserves a 9 out of 10. People are giving it 10 out of 10. I'm like, hold up, it's definitely not like.
I'm assuming that people who are giving it 10 out of 10 have read the manga, and based on its adaptation, are probably just like, everything's perfect right now.
Yeah, I think so far with the story, it doesn't deserve a 10 out of 10. Listen, the thing is, I feel like shows that get 10 out of 10, short series can get that, like a 12 episode or a 24. But it's like, a lot of those 10 out of 10s are shows that are like long and the character arcs are very detailed. Besides that, it's done a good job of getting spot number 2 on my anime list. Now just wait for the Fullmetal Alchemist fanboys to like.
Well, if I remember correctly, at one point it was at number 1, and the Fullmetal Alchemist fanboys are doing that SpongeBob meme of like, how many times we gotta teach you this lesson, old man? Just fucking.
Well, we did see that one video that did very well explain why Full Metal's so good, because it's.
I mean, look, it is very good. I feel like, review bombing just to keep your favorite show like at number 1, like you should just be banned.
I don't think this deserves a 10 out of 10 though. That's kind of besides the point.
Yeah.
One of the best things that everyone loved, the audience loved, was when the former headmaster Henderson punches the other former headmaster's son in the face when he starts talking crap about Anya and makes her cry, because Lloyd almost beats his shit. Just like, he's like going to punch him. You can see the death in his eyes, like, oh, this man's about to get punched. And he turns, punches the mosquito on the table, and it's like, sorry, there was a mosquito. And I'm just like, that man just destroyed, like, imagine this. Like, this is not as well made as that was probably made. Imagine
well, this is probably a little thicker, realistically.
Yeah, but this is like, you know, a piece, you know. Imagine punching this table. Like, this is a thick, you can't see it, but it's a very thick.
It's 25 inches.
Or not thick. It's like.
Sorry. It's
a solid 6 inches thick.
No. Quarter of an inch.
Quarter of an inch. No, this is definitely at least an inch thick.
I forget the sizes. Never mind.
Oh, whatever.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. But no, when he almost punches him and then Henderson punches him, I'm like, fuck yeah, fucking teach him a lesson, man. Kick his ass. Because I felt so bad for Anya. She's like, who do you love more? Your new mom or your, like, the asshole interviewer? Do you love your old mom or your new mom? And then, because Anya probably never knew her mother.
Yeah, which is definitely why she was crying, not like.
Because she misses her old mother more.
Basically grown up as a test subject.
Yeah.
Which you do also within these 3 episodes see that Anya can be overwhelmed very easily, which is probably why she ended up in the orphanage like she did. Because I think we've had the flashback.
She got returned like what, 7 times or something like that?
Yeah. Well, even when she was being like tested on, because we've had that flashback where her results weren't that great, and we're probably seeing some of the effects of why they weren't that good, because she gets overwhelmed by 25 or 50 people.
Because you can hear because they go to that, basically the episodes they have to go and do like some patriotic stuff to make it look more like the real citizens and like teach Anya what the school's looking for, because it's like the best school in the country. And she has to learn how to be noble, how to be patriotic, and like the answers. Because even the part when he like Lloyd is quizzing him, he's like, I've been a spy for over a decade and I'm now starting to lose heart. It's like, listen, man, no one said teaching a kid was going to be easy on there.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic show in how they write it, because when Anya doesn't get into the school, it was cool seeing Henderson like kind of sway his power of like, because you saved his life in the do you know what the top killer of the world is? Mosquitoes. Because you saved his life potentially, we bumped you up to enough points to put you top on the wait list.
Yeah.
Which obviously he just threw her there because she deserves to be there. He's like, I'm right here when you need me, and it's like,
look, I think the most ridiculous part of that episode where it's like the exam's already started as they're walking up, and it's
they're walking in, the exam started. I can sense it.
And they're watching us. It's like you cut over to the examiners, and it's like this class failed, or this
person failed. They failed like 5 people.
And it's like, what do you mean they walked?
Yeah, it's like you got to be eloquent, because like Henderson's over there like, no one here is elegant. And then Lloyd's over there. It's like, oh, he's so well behaved. They stopped and are saluting the statue of our former president. So elegant.
Yeah.
Then the animals get out.
Well, first of all, you see where it's like, oh, it's so elegant. They've like are stopping and showing the pride of
their patriotism toward
the founder of the school. And then you cut over to their perspective, and Lloyd's like,
we better stop and do this.
And then you get yours perspective where it's like, I don't know what's happening, but he's doing it and I'm following his lead.
No, Anya's is the best. Bald.
And it's like, cool. And then you get the chubby kid in the fucking water.
Before the chubby kid, the animals get out. Remember that?
No, that was after.
Was that after?
Yep.
Was chubby kid after?
Huh? Chubby kid, it was the like saluting.
Oh, that's
chubby
right. It was
kid.
the saluting chubby kid, and then the headmaster Henderson's like, "Oh, no person that's elegant would get their suit dirty before an interview." Lloyd gets in, saves the kid. He's like, "Oh, he saved the kid when no one else would, but his suit's dirty, so he's not elegant." And Lloyd's like, "We prepared for this.
Change of clothes."
Puts on a new suit that's in his suitcase. Then a whole bunch of animals get out. I was like, "Who ordered this test?" "Oh, we thought you did." So this is actually just an accident.
Yeah.
And then his clothes get torn up. And he's
yours clothes gets torn up as well, because
she fucking like 360 triple somersaulted puncture point.
Acupuncture. Oh, it was
a
weird.
Pressure point hit the cow to where it got knocked out on the ground. And everyone's like, And then the headmaster again's like, his suit's ruined. I guess I'll wait till tomorrow. He's like, we prepared for this too. Pulls out a third suit.
But at that time, he's already revealed himself, where he's like, I'm so sorry. Thank you for this. And it's like, don't worry about it. Yeah.
Puts on another suit.
It's like, who brings two chain, like,
well, no, it's 2 sets of clothes for him, a set for Yor, and a set for Anya. So that suitcase had
2 sets for Anya, because she also got
oh, that's right.
Yeah, she got. Yeah. So it's like, well, what is happening?
You can see why he's the top spy our country has to offer.
Yeah, and eventually she gets the accepted phone call.
No, even before that, Lloyd is bugging the room to see what the interview questions are before the interview. So he got in there, or someone got in there ahead of time. It's like,
well, for me, the ridiculous thing is after, where it's like, okay, that was ridiculous, and then we get to the next episode where they're waiting around to hear, and it's like, get the phone call, which I don't know roughly when this time period is. The phone calls seem kind of modern for something that feels 40s-ish.
Yeah, I'd say probably like, well, the thing is they have modern boats too.
Yeah.
And they're
like parachuting in.
Imagine they're in England. They will go with that because they got like fucking biplanes on there. Listen, imagine it's just in England because they're old, but they got cool new stuff.
Yeah, whatever.
Fuck you, England. You suck.
Yeah. Oh, it was. There's some of that stuff where it's just kind of weird.
Are you just gonna leave out the Lloyd fucking Lightning McQueen over to that phone?
Oh yeah.
Phone rings. He's like, yes.
Yeah.
This is the
answers. Of course, it's finally the phone call you expect. Anya's gonna get in. She gets praised.
Well, it was adorable too because Lloyd's like puts down the phone. Party popper, you're in. Anya's like, yay.
And Frankie shows up.
Dude,
glasses,
fucking Frankie's like, yo, I got the call. How did you find it so quick? Never underestimate an intelligence officer. It's like, and everyone got pissed. Listen, Yor is a lightweight, apparently.
Very
super
much so.
lightweight. She has one glass of wine. She's like,
I don't think she probably had way more because she kept that bottle with her.
Well, that first glass made her tipsy, and she did keep that bottle with her at all times. Dude, it's getting adorable though because they're like getting more lovey-dovey. Like,
oh yeah, because at one point they're talking because we skipped over. There was a mugger while they were out and about, and they stopped the dude that like mugged this old lady and then took the old lady to the hospital. The old lady, the way she shook hands was real weird.
She literally does.
It was very exaggerated. And what a cute family. Lloyd and Yor are kind of having a moment. Then you get Anya.
Anya did a good job too.
No. She's like, Mom and Dad are flirting. And then they like, no, we're not.
I'm talking about later, like when they're cutting to the scene. How it's like, Anya, help too. It's like, you pointed out cake.
Yeah.
Because dude, the facial expressions Anya makes in Comey this season are like the best facial expressions. Like every time Anya is surprised, she's like, ugh. Just the big old eyes with like the one dot with the pupil on there.
Yeah,
the
show's very good.
Well, even the best part of this whole thing is it's like, Anya, what is now? Franklin's like, your dad's gonna get you whatever you want for doing a good job. It's like, I want that. And she like, basically wants the TV show version of whatever.
The spy, like,
yeah, it's basically just a Lloyd with like the spy looks exactly like Lloyd on there. It's like, I want to reenact this inside a castle. They get in the castle. Anya's sad. It's like, oh, Anya, why are you so sad? I mean, Franklin's the real, like, he's the cool uncle on there.
He's also drunk right now.
Yeah, everyone is drunk minus Lloyd. Anya's like, why are you so sad? It's like, what's a castle without anybody in it? Then Lloyd immediately messages headquarters like, we need every spy in the area. This is a above double S rank mission.
Yeah.
They're coming by boat. They're coming by plane. They're coming by, like, para-dropping in. I'm like, and they all have...
Well, that's the second time, because the first time he had asked about...
just getting people for the party.
Well, no, just getting the castle itself, because the show, it's basically turned into like a theme park now. So he requested in that they book it, and then he does the second one to bring everyone there.
Yeah.
And it's like, who's reading that being like, whatever, he's the best spy ever.
Listen, you can tell, like, listen.
Also, how many people exist in that, like...
Listen, Wit Studio has done a good job with stuff like Attack on Titan. And now they're, like, flexing it even more when they have, like, Lloyd's got to go through this whole castle, right? Mm-hmm. Fighting his way up.
Well, this is also with Cloverworks, so I don't know where lines are.
Both of them have done a fantastic job.
Yeah, I don't know if they're working like one does one episode, one does another, or
if they are, you can't tell.
Yeah,
because they've done such a good job. Like they're doing the fight when he's working his way up the spiral staircase. Like they're having a shootout with like basically like rubber ball things, and he's just like boom, 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 kick butt, kick butt, kick butt, grabs two guns, shoots vertically up. I'm like, this is like the best action movie I've seen all year. And then he gets to the top, and then they have even a better fight scene between Yor and Lloyd for all of about 20 seconds before Yor breaks a heel, trips, falls, gets passed out. They do have that cute moment of like, oh, okay, Anya, that my princess, and the rest of the spy group is crying on there. I'm like,
okay, so we have the answer. Wit is working on all odd number episodes, and Cloverworks are working on the even number episodes. So the last episode, while they're in the castle, is Wit.
That was a very well done. I mean, they did a good job. You couldn't even say it was very, very good. So this, because there's a reason why this show is ranked 9.09 with 172,000 users. Yeah, ranked number 2. Super good, super good.
Yeah, I think even just at some point that level of like you can see what quality can be done, even to a certain degree with like Talked OP, when a studio or two studios. Yeah, part of the problem is based on a mobile game.
Do better, dude. It started so good though.
Yeah,
it started so good.
Mobile game versus a manga.
Corpse Party.
Visual wise, no one wants to talk about Corpse Party.
It was okay.
Yeah, whatever. We literally ripped on it for an hour. If you want to watch that, it's on.
You want me to put that in there? You can put that in.
But when you have two studios working on stuff, there is a level of quality bump that we will probably talk about. Like maybe Shield Hero definitely could have used. If there was a second studio that was working on it.
There was no helping this season.
Yeah.
You would think they would have got a queue though.
Hold on real quick. For Spy Family, Yor is a scary drunk. We can't just leave that off. That woman.
That's what I just talked about, the fight.
Huh?
I just mentioned that fight.
Her drunken fight?
Yeah, and then she broke her heel and fell. Did you not hear me talk about that? You were looking at that. It seemed. You got to put on your listening ears, man.
Sorry, I was trying to figure out because we were talking about Wit and Cloverworks. Fine. Shitty segue. Go ahead.
I said maybe they would have got a queue, kind of like Q.
Sorry.
This list has also changed to my anime list. I don't know if some characters have gotten more popular. Listen, Justus is going to talk about Q in his terrible show. Because what happened last time? They did their stage performance, right?
Well, there was the creepy dude that was messaging, and then they found out it's like a legit company. We do go back to that guy. Basically,
the creepy like rapey kind of setting that they're setting up on there, like the Silence of Lambs shit.
Eventually, we do go back there, and it's just a legit company. All the lights are on this time.
What they do, like the video call this, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the guy does video call in. Their manager is there. Everything's officially been set up, and it's supposed to be an anime, but it's more American cartoon art style, and for some of the movements, they have them mocapped.
Who set up the mocap suits? Is it just a room with no one else in there?
It's a giant room with like all of the mocap. No,
but I did like someone come to help set them up, or is it?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think like there was still no one in there.
It's now like a legit thing. Like people were helping set up the mocap stuff.
Code
and
Miko
all of
was
that.
there. Russian Badger was there for some reason.
That man's in everything. No, but he just kept talking about gamer subs. It's weird. No,
G Fuel.
Guacamole gamer farts.
It's good, done.
But
don't be in the guacamole gamer farts.
Yeah, they do a mocap thing, and they're like, "Well, what kind of direction do we have?" And it's like, it's just kind of a fantasy adventure. Have fun, and what is happening in the anime is being projected on a screen in front of them, so they can see their characters and stuff.
So this is just Hololive at this point.
It's improvised, like the kind of.
I see why Justus started watching this show.
I didn't know this is.
He knew he had that
15 episodes.
He had that Hololive. He had that like subconscious Hololive. Like, yo, this could be a Hololive scene in this. Like, I gotta watch 3D models.
All right, Mr. Callie plushie. And does that mean you're now going to start watching?
Sorry, what was that? Ina plushie?
Yeah, I know. That's on brand with me, but don't act like you're not part of this either.
Settle down, Pop-Up Parade.
Yeah, you bought one.
Oh, I didn't. You can't prove shit.
So it was kind of interesting, especially because every so often.
Did they even do anything with that episode? Or they were just basically were showing off like.
It was a lot of setups for the first half. Cause
what if that's season 2? What if they just do that as season 2? Like, here you go, here's the game. Like an off sequel. You know what I'm talking about?
It'd be interesting. But the first half of that episode, you just see their expansion of that. Or
so do all the girls show?
No. So
or is it just the group that was there before?
It's just the 4 that was there before. We do mainly focus on the red-haired girl, Maharu, and something's kind of been bugging her a little bit. You get a bit of a flashback because she's the one who has prior experience, so she was a child actor. And she's been contacted.
Is she on this list?
Yeah, she is top right. Red.
Oh.
So
I thought you said Makaro. That's what I was like very confused.
Maharu.
Oh,
and
she looks like a hoe.
Yeah, whatever. She's 20 in this.
Hoe.
The what?
She's Frill from Wonder Egg. Of course she's a hoe. I called it. It's right on the nose.
Because she was a child actress, she didn't really have a whole lot of friends, and she gets a call from her school back when she was in elementary school, and it's like, "Hey, you missed this event. We dug up all these the time capsules from when you were at school. Are you still interested in coming and picking up your stuff?" She's of the opinion of like, no, just like throw it away, whatever.
Wait, a time capsule?
Yeah.
Like they had their individual ones from school, like just from a year ago, or like
no, from when she was in elementary school.
Oh, okay.
So she's 20, and
so it would have been like 15. I don't know when elementary school starts.
Yeah, so quite a while ago, and it was like, no, I don't want to. Eventually, one of the 4 in her group, I don't have the full list because there's a lot of girls. Convinces her where it's like, no, go dig up the time capsule. Maybe there's something there that might be interesting to adult you. It'd give you an idea of like what things were like back then.
There's cocaine in here.
So she has to go from like Tokyo to Nagoya. So it's
20 minutes,
hour and a half, like train ride. So it's a
where
city.
In Tokyo? I guess that's a better question.
Different city. The one who convinced her goes along with, and the entire time she's like, "Oh, it's nostalgic being back in the city. It smells like it used to," and it's like,
it smells like shit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Like imagine if you left them when you came back. What's the smell you would think it smelled like?
Shit.
Yeah.
But she eventually gets to the school. Those fuckers are like, "Yeah, we reburied it so you could dig it up again. Here's your shovel.
There you go, kid."
And I was like, "Yo, that's fucked up."
Did they just like toss her a shovel? Like, here you go, kid. Have fun with
it's like it's over there. We dug it real deep.
Well, think about it. If they dug it up, then reburied it, the soil's soft. Unless it's been a couple weeks.
Well, I mean, it was easy to find where they had put it back because you had that traditional.
It's gonna be like a Full Metal Alchemist moment when he's digging up his mom. It's like, oh
no. It was long enough that by the time they had dug it up, it was sunset, and that
it's a cinematic moment, you know.
Yeah, that episode was a little sad because she realizes that it was like an essay that she had put in there. And she like eventually gets it out and she's like, "Do you mind if I read it by myself?" And she goes like and sits down, and she's reading it out. And mind you, this is elementary school version of herself.
I saw a car and I had no friends. The end.
No, it's more along the lines of, "I hope you're still not lonely."
Damn.
And
Future
it's like,
me's gonna love this shit.
Yeah, and it's like, of course she like starts crying where she's like, "If I could go back in time and tell younger me that I'd have so many friends and whatever." It'd be super nice.
Imagine the turn of events if she had no friends still. We're like, oh, it's been like 15
Yeah,
years.
That would definitely suck. But in this case, she does have a bunch of friends. Like
she has
everyone
a bunch of coworkers.
in Air Blue.
She's a coworker.
They live together. They're becoming friends at this point. But between the some of the flashbacks where it's like, yeah, working as a child star, I would leave school early sometimes, or couldn't do any after school activities or anything like that, and it just reached that point where I wouldn't talk to anyone, or anyone would approach me because I was always leaving to go to work.
Do you think iCarly had these problems?
Probably. It depends, but yeah, it was one of those like, oh, that's real sad. Next episode, they the Project Vogel, the idol group, they're like they get wind where something big is being announced, and they're like, oh, they're gonna cancel us. Things have been going well, but I don't know, they're just gonna cancel us. They get everyone at a meeting, and it's like, we'll be ending operations for Project Vogel, and they like freak out.
Wait, what's Project Vogel?
The idol group. The 4 girls that are doing the idol.
That are doing like the mocap stuff too?
No.
Oh, the mocap is different?
Yeah, that's different.
Okay.
Each of the 16, 17 girls, they're all in groups of 4 doing their own thing. So one's doing mainly voice acting, one's doing the mocap. The ones that's doing the mocap are also the ones that have been doing the podcast. And then another one does idol stuff, another one does.
You know, I'd be pretty disappointed if the 4 girls doing the podcast doesn't do a podcast at the end of the season. Imagine if they just did like
I mean, they've been doing a podcast this entire time.
No, what I'm saying is they do like an extra, like, you know, Blu-ray copy. You know what I'm saying? Like they do their own 1-episode podcast of like what it's like, but they do it in character though. I used to be a child actor, now it's so lonely.
But they announce where it's like, we'll be ending operations for Project Vogel. And they're like heartbroken because they've been working really hard. One of the girls is that one that got flown in by that fucking attack helicopter. So
that's what I'm saying. The series is fuck. If she's got the money for an attack helicopter, why is she like even doing this?
Yeah,
she's got daddy's money. He's a hotel mogul.
You know, they've been working really hard, so it kind of sucks. And it's like, well, you guys have been so successful. We're technically not suspending. We're suspending Operation Vogel, but here's the new operation, which is actually the expansion that will include everyone.
We're going to call it Hololive.
So, well, it was one of those where it's like, well, why you got to say you're canceling the one thing instead of just doing an expansion? Technically, it's a new project. You put the fear in them,
Justus. You put the fear in them.
One of them was in tears, and it's like, that's fucked up.
Yeah, you should work harder. Like, hey, you know, this could disappear at any time unless you work hard all the time. I'm a Japanese businessman. I know how this stuff works. Puts out cigarette.
Yeah. So that was the big development. One of the characters that is in the first like expansion group, Satori, she had, I believe, is the only one with glasses, red glasses. Not going to be on that list.
Imagine can't sing.
Sorry, but she's already doing like season 2 of the Bloom Ball anime. So for the voice acting stuff, and now she'll be doing idol work, and she was specifically asked about voicing one of the lead characters in a movie. And for a newbie, it's not that common to be asked by name to do something like that. It turns out her mom is already a voice actress in the industry, but she turns it down because she doesn't want to be compared.
What does mom voice act?
Huh?
What does mom voice act? Does it start with an H?
No. What? Are you trying to do a hentai joke?
Maybe.
Yeah, of course you are.
I mean, they don't say what mom does, so I mean, mom might be doing some hentai.
It's literally close to like Spice and Wolf kind of shit.
I've seen some spicy Spice and Wolf.
Well, yeah, if you're on fucking Hentai Haven, I'm sure you have.
I can't confirm nor deny those allegations have been presented towards me.
But, you know, she denies because she doesn't want to be compared to her mom. She wants to do her own thing. and eventually has some of that realization where when she was younger, it was super cool watching her mom be a voice actress, but now that she's like in the industry, she can't help but compare or feel like rivalry about the industry and being,
Maybe she should
there.
just be better.
Thanks for the insight.
I know. Like I said, I'm a Japanese businessman.
Yeah.
Puts out cigarette.
Yeah. Get into the country first. But
the doors aren't wide enough. I can't get in. Just
badass. But in that episode, it was kind of one of those like interesting to see certain kind of narratives where, of course, there would be some people that follow into their parents' footsteps and a lot of not wanting to be compared. But in that episode, when she's sitting by herself in a cafe, fun fact, the waitress that actually takes her order is her real mother, like IRL. So her actual mom is also a voice actress.
Wait, so hang on. So the person voicing the character in the cafe, so that's our real life voice actor's real life mother
was playing the waitress to take her order.
But in the anime, they have no relation.
Yeah, they have no relation.
I thought you were going like a couple of cuckoos.
No,
type thing
no,
where it's
no,
like,
no,
oh,
no,
she has
no,
like
no,
another
no.
mother she doesn't know about.
You're overthinking that. They, real life.
Hey, Mom, you want to be
but
in anime?
the episode focuses on that character not wanting to be compared to her mother and being in the same thing together. Where it's like, oh, that's kind of interesting. That's a cool little tidbit for that. So
this is like some shit where they're just sitting in the office one day. They're like, we need something interesting. As a Japanese businessman myself.
Yeah, okay.
We need something interesting. Hey, is your mother doing anything? No, she's free next Tuesday. Let's just throw her in here randomly. Puts out cigarette.
Well, that's basically it for Q. I don't want to spend a crazy
it
amount
sounds like
of
they
time.
spend a lot of time on like families. So does Shield Hero.
Dude, name one family thing about Shield Hero.
How Nafumi is Raftalia's dad, basically, but she wants to fuck him, so it's like an Alabama relationship. And meanwhile, Philo's over there like, I'm a bird. And then the same thing with the other girl. It's like, I'm also a bird in a stupid costume that looks like Philo.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
You want to see what my shield can do?
I mean, to be fair, when that other woman expanded his shield. Listen, okay, hang on. I got some beef with the show. Okay, hang on.
Yes.
So we're talking about Shield Hero. What do you think my beef is? There was a moment where in the newest episode, was it episode 5? When they're looking at some stone that has, surprisingly, they hit you with it has Japanese writing. Like Nafumi's like, oh, there's Japanese.
It wasn't
like,
etched. It was very much just like plain text on the wall.
And like Raftelli's like, Japanese. And Philo's like, Japanese? And I'm over here like, Japanese!
Yeah.
And they're like, the building could collapse at any time. It is very well established that Naofumi can use his shield in multiple layers to block a giant Pope church beam. Oh yeah, this building's about to collapse. We're going to lose everything in there. Why not just do my shield? It's like...
Plot development didn't matter anyways. You have convenient plot person who already remembers everything for you anyways.
Conveniently plot. Listen, we did talk about that. I was like, everyone's been putting like, man, season 2 kind of fucking blows. And you did mention that the mangaka, right?
Yeah.
Was like, he regrets writing this, or he or she, I don't remember.
I don't know.
Person regrets writing this. I also don't like, I'm looking up Shield Hero. Like, oh, they already announced oh, that's right. They did already announce season 3, didn't they?
Yeah.
Which, looking at the cover art for season 3, it just looks like they're going to be in the same place anyways. But besides that, they don't have the characters from season 2 on here. They have characters you barely saw. That made me mad. Then there was another point where he has like shield break prison where he can save people. And there's someone he obviously could have saved from being crushed. And he just could have used shield prison for a second and didn't. I don't know. It's just so confusing because this season they're going from A to B to C to D really quick. Then they get to like F. And they're, okay, let's take 10 minutes for this. It's like, well, why did you skip through all that? Like that one soldier, they took the time for him to wave to the soldiers that he's worked with before and help guard his town, which is kind of cool that he had, his own flag up because it's technically his own land now. So that was kind of a cool, like, rally the troop type thing.
Yeah.
But when that one dude dies, like, don't die on me. And the guy's like, ugh, and then dies. And then he's just like walking like he's suffering from like PTSD at that point. But that was like a 3-second scene. And they immediately cut over to him being like, oh, I'm all better now. I can see that we're under attack. It's like, there wasn't any build up to it. It's just, boom, here's the scene, check mark done. On to the next thing, check mark done. It seems like they're just check marking everything and being done with it. That's my beef. That's my beef.
It does seem, by the way, like
hold up, Justus. Hold up. I'm remembering something.
Oh, yeah. In the light novel was only 13 chapters. So not very long at all.
I imagine they're just doing one per episode and they're just going to knock it out and call it good.
I think based on what people have said, the current arc, even what we have now, because you said it feels rushed, is supposed to be done in like 2 episodes. And then we're already going to actually move on to the good stuff.
Oh, so this is only going to be, so this season's only part of the arc that sucks, and then we're on to the good thing.
Yeah.
Listen, there's a scene in this where they're like, they took down the turtle. I won't even get into it. First of all, they start episode 3 with the turtle's face. I'm like, man, that's like some of the worst CG I've seen in a while. Like, and I watched Berserk 2017, and I watched Overlord season 4. That was some pretty bad CG. This wasn't as bad, but it takes you out of it. You know what I mean? You start the episode being taken out of it and then put back into it. And I know it's a pain to animate that whole thing, but it's like, I guess it makes sense if they just wanted to rush it and call it good.
Yeah, I don't know what the case is. Maybe Kinema Citrus, the CG isn't their strongest suit. I know there's been some production issues with Shield Hero, which is why it got pushed back as far as it did.
Did they do season 1?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, season 1 was really well done, and that was all by hand. I mean, I didn't see too much CG.
Yeah, I don't know if there's certain like work that's being done or how the teams are split, because they're also about to do Made in Abyss season 2, which so far look.
I wish you luck,
buddy.
I wish you luck. I'm in the
watch
promotional video for this. Like,
yeah,
pretty good too.
Yeah, I don't think there's ever really been a whole lot of CG with, and Made in Abyss also had a really well-selling movie, so maybe it's one of those things.
My guess is they knew this arc was gonna suck, so they just didn't put too much effort into it. Everyone's expecting that, so the next arc they'll pump out a lot to it. We do run back.
This season is 13 episodes, so if like let's say episode 6, the next episode they're finished roughly with the arc, or
I mean they're about
by
to
episode
they're about
7.
to kill the turtle because they went in through its ass, which was a very good point. Like, he only eats souls, so he doesn't poop. I'm like, oh, okay, well, whatever. And it feels like it doesn't smell. I'm like, I didn't. Cool. I didn't need to know that.
Your Raftalia, where it's like, stop it, please, for the love of God. I don't need to think about.
Who's the woman they're walking around with? I always forget her name.
Osu?
I don't know.
No.
Otso?
Yeah.
What does it call her? Oat.
Ost or
whatever. Her name is
isn't
now
that like
Oat.
OST or something?
Yeah, it's like with ST. It's, I don't know. It's something weird. I don't like how literally I got to the point where I was so bored watching it. I'm like managing my Tarkov hideout at the same time, because every 2 minutes, I remember something, Justus. I remember. I'm remembering as we get closer. It's like,
but hey, we get to see part of her big titties in her new titty tattoo.
That's true. She does have the big old man. They're really on it this season. They're like, yo, you want some titty tattoos? We got some titty tattoos.
Yeah, and they did kind of do the cheesy thing where individuals that we've met before in season 1, Lark, Glass, and whatever the last bitch's name is.
How did you guys get in here? Oh, the queen sent us. I'm like, what a fucking lame excuse.
Yeah, well, they're like disguised as
other adventurers.
Yeah. And get found out. They're, of course, the trio from the other world, and turns out that there's just a fourth dude who's gone absolutely batshit and is like, I'm gonna fuck up everyone else's world.
They're like they got like 4 different plot lines all trying to come together, but in the shittiest way possible.
Yeah,
like
and
Turtles, but
they're like doing their own thing. And
I do like that new dude's character design. I think it's cool.
The book wielder.
Yeah, that was a lame fucking name, dude. Lame name. Sorry, that was kind of loud. But
Yeah.
it's like, I am the book wheel whatever dude. I'm like, okay, whatever. Like, nerd. Fucking
Yeah, it's... I thought it was going to have to...
the turtle. Listen, like the whole thing, like it's anticlimactic. It's like boring and anticlimactic. The whole turtle fight, you're like, yeah, we're building up this fight. To then like, it's too fast, paced terribly, and it's like, oh no, the turtle killed half the forces, and I felt nothing. I'm like, it's not like season 1 where he's fighting the Pope dude, and it's like, oh man, he's gonna. But the thing is, when they mentioned they had like a whole bunch of magic casters up there, right? I thought they were gonna do the whole dome cathedral thing.
Yeah, no, they do like one little...
They do one little beam. And the second thing, I'm like, they basically missed. They hit its neck. It is a big fucking target that is not moving. Its neck was not moving in that instant.
I think it turned a little bit. Just a tiny bit.
But it's the size of a mountain.
Yes.
Its neck is the size of like
they
50
made
cars.
look, they made an opening that like it could be cut off.
But I mean, the whole like Philo Raftalia got kind of good. Like when they focus on Philo and Raftalia and kind of Naofumi when they fight, it gets a little better. But other than that, it's like Naofumi's like, go whatever shield, and then new chicks like, take my power on your shield. Boom, big.
Yeah, I'm assuming she's just gonna be really good on the support side of stuff, like granting
Well, she's
buffs.
gonna die here soon.
Oh no, I'm talking about the green-haired girl in the Philo costume.
Oh no, yeah,
because she also helps kind of debuff.
I do like what they did with her backstory of why she loves him so much. Because
at least we get a little bit more.
What was she? She's kidnapped from her parents.
Yeah, because there was an illegal debt from a lord.
Yeah, and then now she's a slave, but Bow Hero saves her, and that's why she's in love.
Yeah.
But listen, Bow Hero's still a goddamn piece of shit.
Yeah.
So is Spear Hero, and so is what's the other one? There's Sword.
Yeah.
It's like they provide nothing. Like they literally just fucked off in the first episode.
Yeah.
Like, okay, we're gonna do something else.
One of the things I was a little disappointed, because every so often she like chimes in, and we were talking a little bit. She was talking a little bit about like the 7 heroes, because that gets mentioned, and when we finally meet like Lark, Glass, and whatever that last chick's name is, I still don't know. It was like, oh, there's 3. So if the other 3 show up, there'd be 7 heroes. Is that the thing that they're getting to, where it's like,
but it's 7 heroes of this world that aren't the same as the actual heroes. Those guys are from another world, though.
Yes,
I was
just
theirs.
They didn't specify. They just said 7 heroes.
They said there were 7 other heroes besides you, but they don't have the same powers. They have like weapons.
No. You're mixing things up. So not when they're at the table and talking about like the other heroes that are taking forever, the other 3 that are coming from different continents. The green-haired chick, of course, it's not on this list. She, while going through that book, at one point talks about like 7 heroes. Because every so often she drops like weird information stuff
which is highly convenient. Like, oh, this book fell on me. Oh, look, this book. It's like,
yeah, and some of it doesn't even seem to be helpful. But at one point, she mentioned 7 heroes. So when we meet those 3, where it's like, oh, are those going to have to be 7 heroes that have to like work together to defeat the spirit turtle? No, that's just not the case.
I wonder if she's talking, because the thing is, before they did mention there's 7 other heroes of this world that have basically weapons that are made to be like the main hero's weapons, but
just
different.
not as strong.
Yeah, just not as strong.
Yeah.
I know, it's kind of weird. It's rushed. All in all, it's getting. I feel like the last episode was better though, with the pacing and how they did things. But now it's like when you look at how many people liked and downvoted the last couple episodes, it's just getting more and more downvotes on Crunchyroll, which isn't, the greatest gauge, but it's still a gauge of like people aren't happy, but they're still going to watch it because it's Shield Hero Season 2. So hopefully the second half is better. It is
still ranked like a 7, which for something like Shield Hero is just a good, and it's 7.05. So it's reaching that like almost fine level score, which in the context of anime is bad.
Yeah, I feel like when not season 3, sorry, when the next half of this season comes out, it'll get better.
Yeah.
But the first half is rough, dude. It is.
Season 1, by the way, was ranked 8.02. So an
entire rank higher.
Yeah.
I feel like Shield Hero Season 1, the first third was good, the middle third was meh, and the last third was good. Shield Hero doesn't feel like the show that's always been like the cream of the crop, but it's good.
Yeah.
It's not like, SAO where like that's pretty good the whole way through. Like they have good pacing, good story, good animation. I mean, that was hype way more too, but
yeah, there are still those like droplets of why Shield Hero is good. 2 things just can't complain about the show. Like the opening is still good, the ending is still good.
I think the ending is better than the opening.
The actual music, like the OST in the show, is still fantastic. Right now it's just the plot and
the opening theme
the
this
CGI
season
is lacking a little bit.
Opening theme of this season does not hype you nearly as much as the opening theme of last season.
Yes.
Because last season it was like da, 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 da.
Well, they also had 2 openings last season.
Yeah, but last season was, I don't know, it's kind of hard to follow up with that. I just feel like they should have done a better job. They should arced it more.
Shut up. You didn't even say his name right.
Arc. It is right there. It even says his name is Arc. I love Overlord Season 4. Leave me alone.
Yeah,
Listen, I was trying to segue into Skeleton Knight in Another World or whatever that's still is isekai.
This show is equally as boring as Shield Hero is right now to me.
To you, really?
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of like I'm kind of a sucker for the whole, like, I'd say more Americanized hero. Like, he's here to save the day in the nick of time. Like,
yeah, I just think between the 3 episodes that we watched of each, there is equally as much going on and nothing going on at all. Well, and this one's more edgy. That's the only difference.
Well, this one I feel like it's more of like they're not skipping real fast. This, I don't know. I really like it so far because it's that whole hero thing of he comes in at the last minute, saves the day. It's kind of funny things here and there. And I feel like this is not as fast as you'd like it. I think you'd like a little more action. Because it's smaller action rather than bigger action.
I like slice of life, so I'm fine with like no actions. I watch anime girls sit and talk about their feelings.
But no. But when you go into this, you have that idea of this should be probably faster paced with bigger fights. Because episode 1, pretty boring.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, there's like stuff to it, but it's kind of like, here's the world, here's everybody at once. Let's go into it. Episode 2, he has that big fight with the monster. Then you get to these episodes and you find out, well, that monster is the result of something else. And then the slave trade is I think a lord of the town, right?
Yeah. Who has a deal with a different country to
sell slaves to the enemy country out there. There's a whole bunch of politics this season in anime, and I don't like it. But I like the story a lot so far because it's basically Arc, a guy that doesn't want to he just kind of wants to kick back, relax. Now he's getting pulled into this bigger thing of we got to stop these people from getting kidnapping elves.
Yeah. Do you know what my biggest gripe with these 3 episodes are?
That she doesn't fit through the window?
No.
What?
Similar stuff where it's like, oh, duh, I just remembered. It's like, hey, that guy's kind of fishy. Pont is with him. Oh, he's fine.
It's not nearly as annoying as Shield Hero. It's every 2 seconds.
It still happened 3 or 4 times.
But at least they established that she's suspicious of him because what is this big knight doing with a bandit of thieves And like she's used to people kidnapping elves for trade, and Ark doesn't know that.
That's
so it's
the
a better
first time though. Her companion that they meet in the city immediately was like,
but it's
then
all the elves are pre-established that they're suspicious, and she's already said they're going to be suspicious of him.
Yeah, but the moment that they see Ponta, it's like, it's whatever.
Well, they already established,
literally,
but they established like it's a spirit animal, so that it's already pre-established. The thing is with Shield Hero, it's like we need something convenient right now to fix the hole that we're not going to write in, and they already wrote in that Ponta. I keep thinking his name is Ponyta for some reason.
It just still feels annoying where it's like, here's suspicious. Like, you seem suspicious. Oh, you have this one creature with you? Nah, never mind. No more suspicion. That's just what it felt because it happened like 4 times.
It happened once with her, once with the other elf guy.
It also happened with the
ninja. But it's just but it's already,
and the group of scared elf
saying
girls.
It's the same is like I feel like way different because it's like
it just feels too convenient along the lines of I just remembered where it's like he's got a spirit animal like he's fine it's whatever.
Not like I remembered because I would remember it's just like they don't want to write an actual good story to fill that hole, but this is like establishing like these are people they've already established like this one creature does not get along with anybody and it's super rare. But it's with this guy, and it's like, well, there must be something special.
It still feels annoying, especially when
I bet you hate Lord of the Rings. He's got this ring.
It's brought up 4 times in 2 episodes.
Yeah?
That's pretty annoying.
You don't have a problem with Q with a girl that has a helicopter that just drops her into the middle of nowhere?
No, because it's absurd enough that it's amusing.
Now, I feel like that's a good... We'll agree to disagree on there.
If it keeps happening, if in the next episode it happens, that will make 5 times.
I'm pretty sure if I actually sat down for a few minutes and thought about it, there are plenty other examples that have way more convenient stuff like that.
Yeah, it's just because there's not a crazy amount going on in the show, and the direct thing is, you're kind of suspicious. And
I think you're going into it with a bad attitude. You go with a more open attitude. You need to go into it like you did My Hero Academia season 5.
Well, I went into My Hero Academia season 5 with the hopes that it would be good. Because I've already watched 4 seasons of My Hero Academia.
Then you were like, it wasn't that bad. And it was dog shit.
Well, season 5?
Season 5, like nothing happened. It was season 5 of My Hero was pretty boring. Like, let's be honest. It was like compared to
compared to the other seasons.
You went into it with a good attitude. You got to go into this with a good attitude.
Yeah, because I've watched 4 prior seasons in 2 movies.
Yeah, and only like...
The level of investment is way higher than... knockoff Overlord 3.5.
It isn't like exactly like not. It's just basically you have a skeleton. Like I guarantee you, if that was a human in that suit instead of a skeleton, it'd be way different. The only thing that makes it feel like because I make the Overlord joke because it's basically kind of the same premise of like his side character thing of like he's a dude in a suit, but I guess when he's actually in the suit, he has magic that changes his face. In Overlord, whenever he takes off his mask, he has magic that can make him look like he's human.
Yeah.
Which I don't think we ever saw his face yet.
I'm not sure. But there's also the Isekai video game, like, there's crossover stuff.
There's a lot. They're like surprisingly, there's a lot of shows that are like that. Like video game, it's super easy premise, which is kind of dumb. Did we have an Isekai last season? I'm trying to think.
Yeah. I mean, you watched one.
Oh, I guess that's the other world with Total Fantasy Knockout. Mm-hmm. I was trying to think, was there another isekai we watched last season? Or I think last season was pretty light on the isekais for what we watched, right? Yeah. And this is the only real...
Because we also watched Strongest Sage.
But that wasn't... It was kind of like basically just him in the same world, though. But it's still kind of like
it's like isekai'd himself to the same world 5,000 years later.
3,000 years later, whatever. Excuse you.
There were other isekais on that list, and I said no.
Also, I do love... There was a comment, it's like... what was it, the most recent episode of this where she's trying to sneak in through the window and then she doesn't fit, and I was like, before Ark teleported, I'm like, can't Ark just teleport in? And then he teleports in. I'm like, and she was pissed, she was fucking infuriated. She's like, why didn't you just do this before? I don't know, I just wanted to watch you struggle on there. But they were gentlemen about it. They didn't look at her ass.
Yeah, we did look away
on there. I like it a lot. Also, Ark is a total simp though. Elves? Ooh. Cat girl? You're a ninja. How do you know what a ninja is? I can't say she just looks like a ninja. What do I do? Skip forward.
Yeah.
But all in all, I mean, there's a few characters you can see on the sheet that we haven't seen yet, like this one here, which I wonder what that's going to come in at, this down here. Oh, I guess he does technically save. At the end of the episode, that we get left off where they break into the Lord's Manor because they already beat up his son. They go into the Lord's Manor that's running the slave trade. They knock it out. And the Ark's like, oh, we made a hole in this wall. Oh shit, all the gold's here. If we take all the gold, they can't.
Oh yeah, the gold just disappeared. That was annoying.
What?
They transfer all the gold, and it's like, you want to go on an adventure with me? And then all the gold just disappears when he like walks away with her, and the gold.
I mean, it's already pre-established that he can just teleport.
It just felt like, hold on, let me stash this or something. Just like a throwaway line. He literally just like, we've taken the time, talked about all the gold. She gave him extra gold that didn't need it, like he didn't need, and then it was like, you guys just walked away from all the gold.
Yeah, but it's the middle of the woods. Who cares on there?
It was one of those like, all right, well, that was weird. Like, you made a big deal about him getting a bunch of gold and then just kind of mid it away real quick.
Yeah. Here, let me scroll over. I want to point out. I just want to look at something here.
I will be clear. The show is fine. It's great time waster. It's just...
Well, if you just want to waste your time, then you should just go watch Platinum Ends.
I mean, if you want to truly like waste your time and be let down at the end, yes.
Or strongest stage for the week is Crest.
Yeah. Like there's a bunch of shows you could do that with, but
I'm kind of surprised. Like this season, I went into it like, wow, it's gonna be a lot of like super super good show. It's a lot of like okay shows. But you're not watching your boy Coma King, are you?
No,
at all.
I don't have High Dive.
I somehow watch it. I don't know what it is. No, but I feel like this. Listen, it's not against
I watch things by legal means.
I never said I watch stuff illegally.
No,
those are your words, not mine.
Just heavily implied.
No, but like when you watch, like when you look at this, so I'm looking at a lot of shows. There were a lot of these shows that started way higher on the list, and we're getting into it, and they've dropped. Like there's some shows I didn't expect to be as good that are really good, and there's a lot of shows that we went into. Like I expected Shield Hero Season 2 to be pretty good. After making us wait, like they announced it, but they're like, oh, it's going to be out in a year. Then like it was September right before, and they're like, oh, we're delaying it to like April. And now we get here and it's like, there's a reason why your like rank is dropping. It's because you made people wait this long and then still are underperforming compared to Spy Family, which is overperforming because they did the good thing and gave like a very mysterious kind of like trailer for it. There's a lot, because the trailer really doesn't have much in it when you watch it.
Yeah.
So, all in all, I don't have anything else to add.
Do you know how many isekai we're watching this season?
So there's Shield Hero. There's Skeleton Knight. Technically, your boy Coma King is actually an isekai. And then, well, it's the same world, but years later, but we'll count it on there. I think that's about it, isn't it?
For me, there's an extra one, which is Ascendance of a Bookworm.
Oh, I guess,
which is rated over an 8 right now compared to Shield Hero.
Well, that's season 3.
Yeah.
I mean, One Piece is rated over an 8.
Well, yeah, but it's also One Piece.
So I guess together we're only watching 2, but total there's 4 between both of us on there. There's actually not that much isekai. So like, I'm looking through this, and there's actually not too much in here that is an isekai. So I think people have toned down the isekai, and I think they're just going back to, let's write a good fantasy story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like the only perks of an isekai are like if you want your character to be OP or you don't know how to start a story. Because it's like, oh, he's in another world, he's OP, he knows how everything works. Boom, here we go. Like in Konosuba's case, it works great because Kazuma is not overpowered, and he's just in another world for comedy effects on there, and he's trying to get back. I think that's one of the better isekais out there. That's all I got. It's been about an hour.
Yeah.
Next week we're watching the B list because it's the poopy list. What's on the B list? I think it's
all rom-coms.
Shikamori. It's a Heron-san. Komi. Is Komi on that one? No, Komi's on the C list, isn't it?
No. Yeah, Komi's on the C list.
So we have Kaguya, Shikamori, a Heron-san. Then I have Love After World Domination, which is so good, and a couple of Cuckoos. Or is that?
That's all.
We'll see you next week.
All right. Goodbye.
Remember to subscribe.